Hello and welcome to Action Figure Breakdown episode number 16. My name's Seth, back here with you again. Today we're going to review a couple of new figures, one of which I got just today. Super excited about. I don't know if you guys remember from the last few episodes, but I was talking about completing the Kree Sentry Build-A-Figure. I managed to do that today. I snagged a Nick Fury, and we're going to take a look at him. We're also going to be taking a look at a couple of other figures, but for a different reason. One of our viewers slash subscribers slash followers on Facebook slash Instagram asked us a question about a set of legs. And we're going to go ahead and review a couple of leg variations on some female characters in comparison to this guy's legs, Captain America. So we're going to take a look at those. But like I said, first we're going to break down the Nick Fury figure. This guy is from the Captain Marvel wave, as you guys can see. Figures here on the back. This is two-eyed Nick Fury, not like one-eyed Nick Fury that we got with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pack, which had Coulson and Agent Maria Hill in it. That was a 3-pack that I believe came out around the same time as Age of Ultron, or even, it might have been Avengers. Might have been the first Avengers. So, real quick, let's get the Nick Fury figure over here. And the Kree Sentry fig. So, I've got those in my hand right now. And let's take a look at Nick. And Nick came with some really, really cool accessories. Well, one or two cool accessories, rather. So this is our Nick Fury fig, guys. Super excited about this guy. Not only is he in a Samuel L. Jackson fig, which is just cool to have. But he's also in a suit. So this guy I'll make. I've seen a couple of customizers do a T'Challa head on him for a T'Challa in a suit, which is kind of cool look too. So this is going to be one of our first African American figures in a suit that we can use to customize, which is going to be super neat. Falcon head, Rhodey head, if you guys got one, those would be cool. So those are a couple of options that you guys could put on the Nick Fury fig there. Real quick, couple of his accessories. As you guys can tell, he came with a gun. So we've got a simple pistol here. I like this. It's kind of the Glock model. It's a modern day kind of 90s pistol. It doesn't feel like one of the played out pistol molds that like Bullseye has or anything like that. So we dig this one. And then we've got, we had the Flurkin with Captain Marvel, and we got another Flurkin here. Same one. This is Goose. This guy's pretty cool in a couple of different ways. One, he's got the handcuffs, as you guys can see, and the muzzle, which is pretty neat. So clearly he's a threat. So this is a little bit of a plot spoiler for the movie for those of you who don't know anything about the Flurkin slash Goose here. And the other cool thing is they gave him a little kind of the nape of his neck here. They gave the scruff, and they made it raise. And as if you guys can tell a little bit here, you're able to kind of grab it with Nick Fury's hand, so he can hold the cat. Unfortunately, my figure's hand is a little wider than it should be, so I'm having a little bit of trouble getting the cat in his hand here. Let's see if I can. It keeps falling out. Okay, there we go. He's holding the cat. That's pretty cool. Oh, nope, he fell out again. I swear I wasn't holding it that time. One more time, without my hand in the way. Let's see. All right, my hand not in the way. He's holding the cat. There you go, guys. Again, I'm going to take some hot water and soften up the hand a little bit and then flash cool it into a tighter position. Super easy to do. You can just microwave some hot water in a coffee mug, dip that hand in there for a little while. Bend, it'll get nice and pliable. Then what you do is you bend it to the position you want and then dip it in some cold water right away. And the cold water will kind of freeze it or solidify it in the position you wanted it, which is super awesome. So that's our Nick Fury fig for the most part, guys. We'll talk about articulation a little bit. So things I do like about this fig, real quick, he's got the cool jacket, which looks like you could take this off. If you had white arms, you could do probably suit arms, which pretty cool. Some neat details they did on this guy. Let's see if I can get his jacket folded up here a little bit. If you guys can see, he's got some holsters here. Some shoulder strap holsters a la Shield under his coat, which is pretty cool. They don't. They look like they're molded to the figure. They are indeed molded to the figure, so they're not usable holsters, but it is still kind of a cool detail that they gave him. As you guys can see, in terms of articulation, we've got a nice loose tie here, which is pretty cool, so you can flap that around. Do the hot water method, maybe blow it in the wind. That'd be pretty cool. But in terms of articulation, real quick, guys, you can see we've got an ab crunch here in the middle, so that's kind of cool. He's got a hip pivot. My hip joints here in the leg are a little loose as well on this figure. As you guys can see, I move one leg and they both kind of move, so that's not super happy about that, but we'll see what I can do to remedy that. I might tighten those up with the hot water method as well, kind of just do that, and then flash cool them and see how that helps. But we've got typical Marvel Legend hip action here. We've got thigh pivot as well, which is super cool. I don't know if you guys can see that thigh rotating. Then we've got a double hinge knee here, right there, guys. So there's a hinge here and here. These pants, apparently Marvel or Hasbro hasn't completely learned. These pants, as you guys can see, are a little flared out at the foot. It does look good on the fig, I'm not going to lie. Let's see. Okay, cool. So what Hasbro did with this one is they took the ankle joint, it looks like, and they put the pivot. Ooh, we've got 2 base pivots. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so Marvel looks like they did figure, or Hasbro looks like they did figure this out. So what we've got is we've got a leg that'll, an ankle that'll pivot that way towards you or away from you, which is pretty neat, at the high point near the pants. And he also has the up and down hinge of a Marvel Legends foot, which is pretty cool. So you can point the toes. And the other neat thing here is he still does have the ankle roll pivot on the foot, which is pretty cool. So that leg's pretty straight up and down, and he can roll his ankle. So that's pretty neat. Good job, Hasbro. All right, you did figure out the flared pants legs. Thumbs up. In terms of arm articulation, guys, we've got pivoty wrists. Let's see if we've got the hand hinge. We do have a hand hinge here in the hand. I'll go ahead and pop one out real quick. We didn't get any hand options with Nick, so that kind of stinks. But we do have a hand hinge here that'll bend back and forth so the hand can go. Let's see if you guys can see that better against my hat. There we go. So the hand will bend back and forth, which is nice. Unfortunately, on this fig, these wrists are a little flared out along the jacket, so you don't get a lot of hand pivot range of motion there. But you do still have the twisty option, which is, yeah, pretty good. Shoulders, pretty standard for a Marvel Legend. We've got the up and down action here. Bicep pivot, double hinged elbow, which is nice. And that's Nick, guys. That's a pretty simple fig right there. Pretty cool. Like I said, I'm a big fan of this face mold. One thing I wish they did do a little different is the paint on his face. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Let's see if we can get a good up close of the head mold here. Oh, we had a good shot there. Okay, so that's pretty good right there. So as you guys can see, his face is a little shiny. I wish they would have used like maybe a matte brown over the to paint match there. And as you guys can see, the light bouncing off his lips. His lips are a little glossy. Kind of looks like he's wearing lipstick. I wish they would have done a matte finish for this. Not bad. I just, this isn't very in character for Nick Fury, so having that kind of shiny eyebrows and shiny lips, a little weird looking. But like I said, super cool fig. First African-American fig I think we've got in a suit, which is pretty nice. So we'll be able to do some pretty cool custom options there as well if you guys wanted to. And on to the Build-A-Figure. So Nick came with the right arm for the Kree Sentry Build-A-Fig. It is a fist, as you guys can see. And we will go ahead and show you guys this cool Kree Sentry Build-A-Figure here. So here we go, guys. This is our Kree Sentry Build-A-Fig. In comparison to the size of the other figs, we'll do a couple of measurement pics on our Facebook and Instagram you guys can take a look at with the tape measure so you guys can see exactly how tall these figs are. But foot to foot, I'd say this Kree Sentry has about a good quarter of a fig on Nick. So it's not a short fig. It's definitely a nice tall Build-A-Fig. Probably about the same size, maybe a little bit bigger than the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure. So that's pretty neat as well. He's got the cool head. let's talk about his articulation real quick. So it's pretty standard BAF articulation. We got the up and down hinge on the head, side to side, which is pretty cool. I think my head joint might be a little tilted there, or maybe it's the camera. Anyway, so we've got the arms, which are pretty cool. I like this neat little armor shoulder pad vibe going on here. The arms do have pretty cool articulation here. I'll go ahead and I think I can, yep, still pop the arms out, which is pretty nice on a Build-A-Figure. So we've got the arm hinge here, which is pretty cool. Obviously, it's a round peg, so you'll be able to rotate that sucker. It does have bicep pivot, which is, let's see if I can show that a little better here. We do have bicep pivot at the shoulder base. We do not have a double hinged elbow. This is a single hinged elbow. It is molded at the back side right here of this elbow. It's all one piece of plastic. But they did a pretty good job hiding that it's not a double hinged elbow. In terms of the wrist, we've got the wrist pivot, which is pretty cool, and we've got the up and down, as you can see, back and forth with the hand. So we've got that nice hand hinge as well. Unfortunately, like the other figs, we've got this wrist guard here, which really limits our range of motion a little bit with this hand. I mean, maybe not too much, but I don't like these wrist guards. I can't tip the hand back, or at least I wish they were a little shorter maybe, or molded further down on the arm. Oh well. The hand, however, does have some really cool molding details to it. I don't know if you guys can see right there. One of the disappointments I had on my cool Sentinel is that his hands didn't have the cool openings to shoot lasers. They did that on this one, which is pretty neat. So I dig that a lot. That's pretty cool. We'll pop his arm back in since we're done talking about arm articulation. And we will talk about the rest of him. So he's got pretty standard BAF. Well, he's got kind of the juggernaut upper torso part. We don't have any hip pivot. So he's got just kind of an upper pivot with no ab crunch. It's a very limited range. Also, something that looks like they kind of copped out on, they did the paint and stuff all the way up, obviously, with the mold on the plastic, so that's cool. But they didn't continue the molding up, so if he bends backwards, you don't get that cool, like with the Iron Mans we've gotten in the past. They did it a little bit better on the back, but not so much in the front. The back's pretty cool as well. The molding's super nice. We'll lift up the arms, take a look at the undersides here. This guy's pretty cool looking. He's got some cool gears. The open hand, as you can see here, has that cool circle for shooting stuff. Let's talk about leg articulation. So the legs were pretty neat when they plugged in together. So this was a leg. It plugs into this nice little apron here, as you can see, with the hinge. So you don't have to worry about that too much. Just plug that sucker in. There we go. Pretty easy, as you can see. That way we get a thigh pivot. We get a pretty standard Marvel Legends hip. Actually, I'm not even going to lie. The range of motion on this guy's hip is pretty sick. Whee, he's a ballerina. Okay, other things they did. Let's see. The knee, double hinged. We do have a double hinged knee, so that's pretty cool. And with the robots, they typically leave the backs of the knees open with the gears. They did that with this one as well, so this is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see those gear lines right there. Those look awesome. The molding on the feet is really cool as well. The molding on this guy's fantastic. He looks like a really sick robot. Like, they just did a really good job with all the different vents and holes and stuff like that. You really got to get this fig up close to get a good look at all some of these details. Feet are nice. We've got pretty limited ankle pivot or ankle hinge here, but we do have, let's see if I can do it, a little bit of range of motion in terms of side to side for the ankles. So the feet on this guy aren't super. Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay, so you can do it. You just gotta, this one just needs to loosen up a little bit. Let's see. I also don't want to break it. Anyway, all right, so yeah, again, he's still kind of new. I gotta soften him up a little bit, get him into some good positions, and then get him some good poses, and then maybe lock him into the place I want. But yeah, this is the Kree Sentry Build-A-Figure, guys. Really excited about this guy. Things I don't like about him, his lack of paint. So he's not painted up very well. The molding's fantastic. It looks awesome. But where they really slacked off with this figure here, maybe rushed him out to get him out for the movie, is they slacked on the paint. So there's not a lot of paint on this guy. The upside to that, however, is that this would probably be a customizer's dream. You get a cool head on him. He could make like a miniature Sentinel. Maybe, nah, you could. I was thinking Nimrod, but definitely not. Not with this body. But anyway, so yeah, this is a pretty cool robot fig. You can do a lot of things with this in terms of customization, do a lot of different painting. This could be a really neat figure for a lot of different reasons. I like this guy a lot. And this will be our 12th Build-A-Figure. So hooray, number 12. All right, guys. So those are the figures we came here to take a look at today that are new. And then, like I said before, one of our users or our subscribers posted a question asking me about female figures' legs. And their question was are there any female Marvel Legends figures that have similar leg styles to Captain America? So let's talk about Captain America's leg style real quick. He is a male buck, so he's going to have the bigger, thicker legs. Odds are that a lot of the females don't have that. I do have a couple of the bigger females like Thundra. I'll grab her real quick since she's within arm's reach. Thundra does have some thicker legs, but as you can see, I mean, other than the thigh, let's get a good shot of that there, they're not really too on par. Once we get down to that chin area, the calf, everything really kind of changes for the ladies. And that's kind of the style Marvel molds, female molds have been for quite some time. There are a few exceptions to the rule, and we're actually going to talk about those. Now, our subscriber, Taryn, didn't specify which Captain America foot, so we're going to go ahead and do a couple options. We've also got Bucky Cap here. Bucky Cap has a similar leg mold to Wolf Cap. So if you guys have the Wolf Cap figure, this is the other leg style. So both of these guys have kind of a boot with a shin pivot, which is pretty cool. And I think this is what we were getting at, what Taryn was getting at. The hips on this cap are a little different. They're ball and socket, if you guys can see that here. So there's the ball, there's the socket, and it all fits together, and the leg rotates out. It's got pretty great articulation. Some people hate these ball and sockets, though, because they get loose. Understandable. But this is the standard one. We've got the regular hip pivot here, thigh, like a normal Marvel, like the newer Hasbro Marvel Legends, a double hinge knee, and then the shin. So I think what Taryn was getting at was about the boots. So we're going to go ahead and look at that kind of a bottom half of the leg for the female figures. We'll talk about the full legs for the most part, but that bottom half is where things really start to change, the calf area. So there's a couple of different figures that I think have, I wouldn't say similar styles to Cap, but definitely wider thigh areas, or calf areas rather. So here's one we're going to talk about real quick, Rogue. So Rogue's got some pretty neat legs that are very unique to the Marvel Legend ladies, if I may say so. So she's got a pretty standard leg mold here. And then these cool, as you can see, Rogue's got boots. So these are pretty sick, right? But these pieces for the boots aren't molded on. So these pieces slide up and down, as do the stripes on the boot. They slide up and down as well, which is cool. I like it in terms of aesthetics and like how you can make the figure move around and stuff. But it's not truly a boot then, is it? It really is just kind of the illusion of a boot with some cool effects on the outside. So Rogue leg, guys. So that's pretty cool. And as I've said before, pretty standard thigh for the ladies. She's got a nice thick thigh here. The hip joint fits in pretty nicely. But again, double hinge knee, no shin pivot, and not really a boot, but the illusion of a boot. The next figure we're going to talk about is Laura. And we're going to talk about two different Lauras because there's two different leg styles for Laura. So we've got Tiger Stripe Laura right here, which I've got in my hand, so she's pretty cool. She's got a super nifty leg, bottom half. So she's got the standard hip here for the Marvel Legends. As you guys can see, my hips are kind of spread far apart on her. The joints aren't the best. It shows where the joints are, and I'm not super happy about that, but she's such an awesome looking fig. So anyway, we've got thigh pivot here, double hinge knee, and Laura does indeed have a boot. So this sucker's molded on. It looks like, yep, individual pieces of plastic. So there's a little bit of space in between her Wolverine style boots here, which is super neat. And then as you can see, Laura comes with super neat toe claws, which are removable. So you can just give her regular feet, but when you do give her regular feet, it leaves that gnarly hole in the front toe, and I'm just not a huge fan of that. So toe claws out, Laura. Do your thing, lady. So that's our first Laura figure in terms of legs. And then the other Laura figure. So we've got X-Force X-23 here. And as you can see, I've actually taken the Tiger Stripe alternate head and thrown it on this X-23 because I like it better. So let's talk about this Laura's legs. So the main difference between this Laura's legs and the other Laura's is going to be the bottom of the leg here. And some people complain about this figure a lot because she's got real loose knee joints. And they're not lying. She does have loose knees. And the knees are really thin here. So there's not a lot of support in terms of, or like, this is a point of tension. And there's not a lot of places to support that tension. So understandably, I can understand the complaints. However, Laura does have a cool feature on this figure that gives that maybe a little bit of ability to change where the weight placement on the joints is with a shin pivot. So this Laura's got a cool, nifty little shin pivot on this boot. And not only that, but these boots have these real cool buckles and straps. She's got the hinged foot here, as well as the ankle roll. So you've got a little place to distribute that weight from the knee there. She's totally a workable figure. Her hip placement is way better than the other Laura. I dig this fig. I don't care what anybody says. Like, this is a sick fig. Real quick side note, the legs on this one I think are very similar to that of Magic, Colossus' sister, the Walgreens exclusive, where she's got these strapped boot legs and a shin pivot. So Marvel Legends female leg example number 3 that I could come up with. All right, so as we get further down the line, we're going to take a look at a couple other ladies. We've got Domino here. So Domino, sorry about that, Domino right here. So she's pretty cool. And Domino has a cool leg in the sense that she's got a knee pad for a kneecap, which is pretty neat. It's a pretty standard double hinged knee, but we really dig the molding on this kneecap. Super cool looking. As you guys can see, the deets and the shin guards right here are pretty sick too. She's got the nice dents and stuff like that. It's got a nice metallic sheen to it. And then, unfortunately, unlike Laura, she has cool straps, but she doesn't have a shin pivot. So we're kind of stuck on that. But she does have a boot. Again, I would almost say this is like the illusion of a boot. This is more of a shin guard. And the leg gets thin here. We got a thin thigh, so not very similar to Cap. But this is a third style of leg that I've seen on the female legends. Moving on to our next one. I showed you guys Thundra already. Let's get on to Gwenpool. So Gwenpool has a cool, nifty molded boot. So again, this is pretty neat. Molded on. Pretty sick. Double hinge knee, thin thighs. We've got the cool ankle pivot here. They did very similar to the Nick Fury we just talked about. So she's got a flared out shin guard here, but they put like a double socket or a ball with 2 joints on it. So we've got the hinge here up and down with the foot. We've got ankle roll, it looks like. Yep. And we can pivot the ankle that way as well, which is pretty neat. She's also got these sick Chuck Taylors, which are just the dopest. She's also got these cool pink thigh high or ankle or calf high socks, which is pretty sick too. But she's got shin guards and kind of a boot going on here. And these are molded on. Something disappointing I thought about this figure, no shin pivot. So that kind of stunk. I feel like you very easily could have done shin pivot here, Hasbro, but I feel like you kind of just took a cop out and said, whatever, put the lady legs on. But you did pretty good with the ankles, so we're not going to complain about this one. Again, hips, not super well placed. Thigh pivot, double hinge knee. You could have gave her, does she have kneecaps in the comics? Knee pads in the comics? I don't know. Oh well, anyway, you could have done a little better, but still a really awesome figure. We'll move on to Jane real quick. Jane Foster, very similar situation that we've got to Ladypool or Gwenpool over there. So Jane's got a pretty standard female Marvel Legends leg. I'll go ahead and take her cape off so it's easier to see. Her hips are pretty well hidden by her apron here, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to worry about the hip joints too much, but they have the standard Marvel Legend thing going on. We got a good thigh. She's got wraps. So these are pretty cool legs. They look like wraps. Very similar to Rogue, and we've got the illusion of shoes here. With Jane, we've got the illusion of winged sandals. The silver foot, ankle roll. We don't have a double socket here because obviously, like I said, it's the illusion of the ankle. We got the cool wing mold here though. That's really sick looking. And again, where the wrap is, Hasbro, you could have put a shin pivot in there, but we didn't. We did double hinge knees. Pretty standard female leg. So those are the options I have for female legs so far. I've got two more I want to show you guys real quick. And then I'll post some pictures on Instagram of some other ones for Taryn, or maybe Taryn, I'll message you. I'll post them on Instagram too, because there's some cool figures, female figures out there with some neat legs that I would like to get a hold of as well. So the next figure we have to take a look at legs, similar to Cap's, Black Cat. So this is the OG Black Cat from the Ultimate Green Goblin wave. This is not the new Black Cat from the Kingpin wave. This is the Black Cat I have. I plan on getting the Kingpin wave pretty soon. I've actually ordered it already, paid for it. I'm just kind of waiting for it to get here. It's taking forever. That'll be a review we do. I'll be super excited about that one. So real quick, Black Cat's legs. Standard female Marvel Legends hips. Again, we've got thigh pivot. We've got a double hinge knee. She's got super sick molded Black Cat boots on, which is awesome. Yo, I have no idea how superheroes walk in heels. This is ridiculous. Her and Scarlet Witch are so hard to stand because of these stupid shoes. Like, they look good, but they're totally impractical. Even for standing or posing figures. She does have ankle pivot here, which is cool. As you can see, the ankle turns on a ball socket. It's got a pretty good hinge. It goes up and down and back. But for love of Pete, ladies, I don't know how you do it. I could not walk like that or stand like that for the love of God. You're amazing. Anyway, so again, Hasbro, you copped out. This was another easy fix. All you had to do was put a joint right here, and we could have had a super cool shin pivot, and it would have made her 1,000 times easier to pose. While her molding is absolutely sick and out of this world, in terms of like just color and hair and comic accuracy, like this figure is off the wall good. Except for, just like I said, itty bitty little details like that. So we have a cool boot, like you were asking, Taryn. We've got the awesome molding here, but no shin pivot. So unfortunately, not like Cap. And lastly, and definitely not least, probably one of my favorite newer figures, we've got is Kate Bishop here. This is the last figure I'll be talking about legs. But yeah, so this is Kate. And Kate has probably the closest thing that's similar legs to Cap. And they're not even similar. It's not even really close. So she's got, as you guys can see, standard Marvel Female Legends leg. She's got these hips, which are pretty nicely placed. The molding's pretty good. Thigh pivot right there. We've got a double hinge knee. And then we've got, oh man. Yep, Stinky. Okay, so this thing that looks like a boot here isn't a boot. Again, this is a non-molded on piece. As you guys can see, it kind of slides up and down and reveals that Kate has a pretty standard female leg, or ankle rather. The hinge moves nicely. We've got pivot, which is cool, but it's not, we've got no shin pivot here. I can't turn the ankle without, in theory, breaking the knee. So unfortunately, Taryn, the answer to your question is no. I haven't seen any similar legs to Cap where we've got these cool boots with the shin pivot. I think if you were thinking of customizing or doing something like that, I think that's going to be your issue, is finding a leg joint like that. However, I do think that some of the, as you saw with Thundra, some of these male legs, the bottom half, as long as you're okay with a female having some pretty thick calves, I think it might work. Maybe. I don't know. I've never tried to put a female leg with a male leg, so give it a shot. Let me know what happens. But anyway, I did check out Instagram and Facebook as well for some pictures of some female Marvel Legends that did have larger legs or legs with boots like that. I did see Hope Summers. There was a Kitty Pryde from the Toy Biz line, a Scarlet Witch from the Toy Biz line that had kind of some cool molded boots. So there may be other lines that you can kind of swap the female legs with, and it might be more compatible. So I hope that answers your question. Like I said, we'll post some pictures on Instagram and Facebook. Real quick, guys, let's talk about a giveaway. Yeah, is it giveaway time? Or should yeah, let's talk about a giveaway. So I've got 3 prizes lined up this time. We're not going to give away all 3, but let's step back over here real quick. Where did prize number 3 go? Got him here somewhere. There we go. All right, so here's how it's going to go, guys. Similar to our last giveaway, I'm actually going to do a separate video to announce this giveaway. So we'll do an episode. We'll call it the giveaway episode, but it won't be the drawing. We will announce what prizes we're giving away. So we're going to do a winner's choice giveaway. So we've got, I snagged an extra Nick Fury. So we've got, if you're looking for this guy, there he is, Nick Fury. He'll be an option for you to win in our giveaway. I've also got Lasher. So we've got Lasher with the lizard BAF head there. Super cool if you're looking at complete lizard. Also, if you're just kind of looking to add to your symbiote set, awesome guy here. And then, last but not least, Moon Knight. So this guy's super awesome too, guys. He's got an awesome cape. Comes with those cool, awesome moon accessories, some hand options, as well as a neat bow staff. And he's part of the Vulture Build-A-Figure wave right there. So you guys have the option to win any 3 of those. As you guys know, check out our Facebook. I'll create an official post in the next couple hours. It'll go up, and you guys can enter, like and subscribe to our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram. I appreciate it. It's not mandatory, but you do have to comment on the posts, the Facebook post, the Instagram, or the YouTube. We'll call it the giveaway episode. So comment on the giveaway episode, the Instagram post, the official giveaway post, or the Facebook official giveaway post, and we will get you entered into the contest. And the winner, as we have done previous times, will get to choose between one of those 3 awesome figures. So thank you guys very much for watching and checking out my review of this awesome Kree Sentry Build-A-Figure. Terran Sparrow, I hope we answered your questions about female legs. Check out our Facebook and Instagram at Action Figure Breakdown for some more pictures of some female leg options. And then, as we say here at Action Figure Breakdown, guys, keep breaking them down. Until next time, thank you.